Easter camp in the centenary year had to be something special, and you can't get much better than camping on Brownsea Island, where BP ran the very first scout camp.
At Brownsea Island, it took quite a long time to get onto the island. We had to set up a long train to get all of our kit onto the ferry, then get everyone on the ferry, and then 5 minutes later we would be there.
We arrived on Brownsea in beautiful sunshine and set up camp overlooking the beach, and right next to where Baden-Powell held the very first scout camp 100 years ago. On Saturday we helped the National Trust do a litter pick along the south shore, and then we explored the island. After that it was free time for everyone.
We did loads of different games because it was so big, there was loads of space.
Brownsea is open to the public during the day, but from 5 o'clock it's deserted. It's like living on your own private island.
As our campsite was very close to the beach, we would go on the beach every afternoon to play water polo. We'd hear the peacocks day in, day out, especially when the visitors had gone home. We saw a red squirrel very early on in our trip.
Brownsea is famous around the world for being the place where scouting truly started, and thousands of visitors flock to see the commemorative founder's stone.
Summer Camp 2007 was huge. 28 scouts and 5 leaders travelled to Great Tower campsite in the Lake District. It was the biggest summer camp any of the leadership team can remember.
When we got there and we set up everything, we had to go into our patrols, and there were 5 patrols, and they were all Baden-Powell's patrols when he had his scouts. There was one new one, and it was called the Centennials.
Great Tower is a beautiful site overlooking picturesque Lake Windermere. It offers a host of activities on the water, at the site itself, or further afield in the hills. Wildlife abounds, and part of its charm is never quite knowing who or what will visit you next.
When planning hikes, it is important to ensure they are appropriate for the abilities of the young people taking part. With so many scouts on camp, we ended up halving the troop and taking the 2 groups on different hiking adventures.
My first hike was called the Langdale Hikes, and it was quite hard, and we had to go up this really rocky face thing, but at the top you could see from miles away, and we got the centenary flag out, and we got our Scouting 2007 flag out. And then when we went down, there was this river. We were going across these stepping stones. It was so funny.
Well, we had to climb up a big pole with a platform on top, and he had to do like a little teacup or twinkle twinkle little star at the top and hold on to each other and lean out. And Jamie did turn around and jump up in the air. I just jumped off.
We done crate stacking. Some people got really high, but there was 4 people, so it's much harder.
For the first hike with the more experienced scouts, we decided to climb Striding Edge. Parts of this would be an exposed route with steep cliffs either side of the path. The scouts would have to scramble part of the route, but we knew they could do it and they would thoroughly enjoy the challenge. It was a brilliant hike to start with, but it meant we had to find something even better to top it later on.
We were doing canoeing and we were playing some really funny games, but while we were playing in our canoes, the red arrows flew across us and they made these really nice pictures in the clouds. And one of the games was we had to stand up and we had to run across all the canoes without falling in. So you run in and then you fall in the water and you just get soaking wet. It was so funny.
On the Sharp Edge hike, well, we was going up there, it was really steep and it was all rocky and everything, really nice view and everything, but there was this lady stuck on the top. She was up a little sharp bit at the top and she couldn't get back down, so a few of us had to rescue her while she was coming back down, and she thanked us and everything.
On August 1st, 1907, Baden-Powell started his first experimental camp on Brownsea Island. This event is regarded as the start of the Scout movement, so 100 years later, at 8 a.m. on Scouting Sunrise Day, Scouts all around the world stopped what they were doing and renewed their promise.
On August the 1st, everyone on the campsite went up to North Rock and renewed their promise.
And we all got together, all troops that was in Lake District at the time. Everyone had to be silent for a few minutes, and that was it could be emotional as well to some people of 100 years of scouting.
On Scouting Sunrise we've done loads of activities. You just walked around the campsite and chose what you wanted to do. At lunchtime we had a massive birthday party because it was 100 years of scouting.
Sailing was great on the lakes. Well, we got loads of little sailing boats together. There was about 4 people in one sailing boat. Then we played lots of games. I remember Michael going up the pole, and he's got right to the top and he just fell straight down and it all capsized.
There was some circles right by our campsite. You had to go round in teams of 10 and never touch the ground. It was really hard. You had to go over this swingy pole, then you had to cross a big gap using a plank of wood. There were ropes you had to tightrope walk across.
I remember there was this assault course that we had to go around. We had a cup of water. We was going round, passing it to each other, and then I think I slipped and all the water fell out.
We done this bush tucker trial, and it was all stuff that campers would eat.
At the end of the summer camp, Mark takes the best hikers on a special hike, and it's quite challenging actually. There was this really steep one that we went on, and we was going uphill for about 2 hours. It was really adventurous and everything.
I think summer camp was the best experience ever. I've never had anything as fun as it, and I really hope that this year's summer camp is going to be as good as the last one. Last one ruled.